In this video, we will have a look at the process of constructing the first draft of your book. We will also understand which sections we need to include in our book. Before you begin to write the first draft of your book, you need to understand what kind of author you are. There are two categories of authors based on their writing styles. One is called plotter and one is called pantser. Plotters are those authors who plan everything in advance before beginning the first draft of their book. They detail out the book as much as possible before they start writing. They are meticulous planners. Pantsers are those authors who write more spontaneously. They may write a very broad outline of their book, but they do not plan everything to the minutest details. Some people don't like the sound of the word pantsers, so they call themselves discovery writers. Most authors, including yours truly, fall somewhere in between. I like to plan out my books to a rough outline, but when I actually write the book, I like to be more spontaneous. Writing a book is akin to executing a project. When executing a project, you need to be creative, but at the same time, you must take heed of the time and budget constraints. You must make a plan and execute that plan. As with most things in life, starting out is the hardest part. There's nothing more intimidating to a writer than a blank screen or blank piece of paper. So even the staunchest discovery writers begin by writing a rough outline or plot points of their books. There is no right or wrong in any of these two styles. Check out what works for you and do it. When writing the contents of the first draft, the most important thing is to keep writing until the first draft is finished. At this stage, just remember that done is better than perfect. Don't try to write your best book in the first draft. No matter how good a writer you are, your first draft is always going to suck. The refinements will come later. The first goal right now is to finish what you have started. To keep in motion, you constantly need a goal in front of your eyes. And the outline of your novel or your book will serve as that goal. When your outline is ready, you don't need to feel stuck thinking what you should write next. If you cannot think about what to write in the next point, you can always jump to another point in the outline, write what you can right now, and come back to the point where you were stuck earlier. I have done this while writing every book of mine. What should the outline contain? Well, the outline can be as small as one phone screen or as big as 10 pages. It's totally up to you. Also, the outline can be as fluid as the first draft itself. If you think of a new point in the middle of writing the book, feel free to include it in your draft. You may even remove some points which you had earlier included. When writing an outline, state the broadest point that you want to include in your book. Then you can further divide these points into level 2 points and level 3 points, maximum 3 levels. These points will roughly translate into the table of contents of your book. There's a saying in author's universe, write with emotions and edit with logic. Well, it does not say it in exactly those words, but you got the gist, right? When writing the first draft, write what your gut tells you. This is the time to go with the flow. This is not the time to be logical and make corrections. The only aim right now is to finish the draft. We will eventually have to come back to the draft and make some refinements, amendments to the draft so we can bring it to a respectable level for publishing. Do not try to finalize the title and subtitle before beginning the first draft. You can come up with a title and subtitle while the draft is in progress. I have never used the title I first thought of for any of my books. There are two thumb rules for deciding on your title and subtitle. The title should be either catchy or informative. One of my books is titled Get, Set, Sketch. It has a certain vibe to it. It is also short and concise. One of my other books is titled Sketch Like a Boss. Again, this is a catchy title. It doesn't give much information about the contents of the book, but that is the job of the subtitle. The latest book of mine is called Drawing Animal Portraits in Pen and Ink. It's not so catchy, but it is highly informative. The subtitle has to be highly informative. The subtitle of Get Set Sketch is Secrets of Pen and Ink Sketching Unleashed. It clearly tells you that this book is about pen and ink sketching. It's not about pencil sketching. It's not about oil painting. It's not about watercolors. It's about pen and ink sketching. Also, the words secrets and unleashed are so-called power words, which instantly attract the reader's attention. Having said this, these are only thumb rules. These rules are not set in stone. You may not abide with these rules. My book about composition and perspective in visual arts is very imaginatively titled Composition and Perspective. It's not very catchy, but it gets the job done. The subtitle of Composition and Perspective is a simple yet powerful way to draw stunning expressive sketches. Now see how much information this subtitle conveys. It talks about a simple yet powerful way. It talks about drawing expressive sketches. So this book is not about drawing very accurate architectural sketches. While writing my first draft, I usually come up with 4 to 5 different titles and 4 to 5 different subtitles. Then I run these titles and subtitles through my friends, fellow authors and my readers and see which one of these sticks. There are a number of Facebook groups for authors. You can join those groups and ask for advice. A list of those groups, of which I am a member of, is given in the description below. You may search other books in your genre to get some ideas about title and subtitle. When devising titles and subtitles, you should have two goals in mind: to entice the reader to have a look at the contents of your book and to be as much informative as possible. Copyright page should be the first page after the title in your book. Have a look at the copyright pages of other books and customize the copyright text as per your requirement. A link to a sample copyright page is provided in the description below. Have a look at that description and you may customize it as per your needs. About the author is a section where you can provide a glimpse of the face behind the work. This is an excellent place to connect with your readers. Here you will share your website, email ID, your social media links. Optionally, you may have a photograph of yours. All these things are optional, but why would you let go of an excellent opportunity to create a bond with your readers? Your readers are too busy with their lives to remember to write a review about your book. Your goal should be to get at least one review per 100 sales of your book. And to get those reviews, you need to ask. Amazon and many other marketplaces forbid the authors from asking for a 5-star review. Keep in mind that you may ask for an honest review, but you may not ask for a 5-star review. If you plan to publish your book on multiple marketplaces, do not include the links to specific platforms in your book. For example, some authors add the Amazon link of their book within their book, so the readers can find the book more easily to give a review. But if you submit the same book on other platforms, they will reject it. And believe me, their automated bots do go through the books to check for these links. At the end of the book, you have the opportunity to give information about your other books to your readers. If they like this book, they may go and purchase your other books. Don't lose this opportunity for free marketing. This is the structure of every one of my books. You may copy this or customize it as per your requirements. I have given this list to give you a helpful start. That's it. In the next video, we will have a look at the initial money investment to write your first draft and to make it ready for publishing.